Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to tackle a classic financial riddle, and in solving it, we're going to unlock a really powerful concept, bond duration. You might have heard it called MAHAM, which stands for Meshech Chaim Mamutza, or the average life of a bond. So let's see if we can crack this thing together.
So here's the setup. We've got 4 different bonds. Now on the surface, they might look pretty similar, but one of them has a much longer average life than the others. Our job is to figure out which one it is, and more importantly, understand the simple rule that explains it all.
And here it is, the exact question that's going to guide us. We have 4 bonds, they all mature in 4 years, and they all have a 3% coupon. And this is the key part, depending on how they pay you back, one of them is going to have the longest duration. So let's meet the contenders.
All right, let's meet our 4 players. First up is Bond A, which pays you back some of your principal every single year. Then you have Bonds B and C. Both of them make you wait until the very end to get your principal back, but Bond B pays interest once a year, while Bond C pays you interest every 6 months. And finally, there's Bond D. This one holds on to everything, all the principal and all the interest, and pays it all back in one single lump sum right at the end. Think of it as a zero-coupon bond.
Okay, before we dive in and try to pick a winner, we need to understand one key rule. It's incredibly simple, but trust me, it is the secret to solving this entire riddle.
So here's the whole idea in a nutshell. Duration is all about the timing of your cash flows. The longer you have to wait to get your money back, both the interest payments and the principal, the longer the bond's duration is going to be. That's it. That's the key.
Okay, now that we've got that rule in our back pocket, we can finally start to analyze our 4 bonds. Let's see how they really stack up against each other.
First up to the plate, we have Bond A versus Bond B. Now think about this. Bond A starts paying you back your principal from the very first year. Remember our rule? Getting cash early shortens the bond's average life. Bond B, on the other hand, makes you wait the full 4 years for your principal. This means, on average, its cash flows are way further out in the future. So, the conclusion here is pretty obvious. Bond B's duration is definitely longer, which means Bond A is officially out of the running for the longest duration. Okay, let's move on to our next comparison, Bond C versus Bond B. Now, these two are a little trickier because they both pay the principal at the end. The difference is the interest. Bond C pays you interest every 6 months, but Bond B only pays once a year. Those more frequent payments from Bond C mean you're getting cash in your pocket earlier, which, you guessed it, shortens the duration.
So once again, the conclusion is pretty straightforward. Bond B's duration is longer than Bond C's too. So we've now established that B has a longer duration than both A and C. It all comes down to the final showdown.
We've narrowed the field. The time has come to put our final 2 contenders, Bond B and Bond D, to the test and finally reveal the ultimate winner of our riddle. And the winner with the longest duration is Bond D. But the real question isn't just who won. The real question is why.
Well, just look at bonds A, B, and C. Every single one of them makes some kind of payment before the final maturity date. And any early payment, it doesn't matter if it's principal or interest, it shortens the bond's average life. Bond D is the only one that makes you wait for every single penny until the very end. Because it has 0 early cash flows, its duration gets pushed out to the absolute maximum.
Solving that riddle actually taught us some really practical lessons about how bonds work. So let's just take a moment to recap the key takeaways here.
So, what did we really learn? Well, number 1, early principal payments, like we saw in Bond A, dramatically shorten duration. Number 2, more frequent interest payments, like with Bond C, also shorten duration. And finally, a bond that pays absolutely everything at the end, that zero-coupon structure of Bond D, will always have the longest duration. It all comes back to that one simple idea. Delayed cash flow equals longer duration.
And this brings us right to why any of this actually matters. See, duration isn't just some abstract theory, it's a real tool for measuring risk. A longer duration means a bond's price is going to be much more sensitive to changes in interest rates. So the next time you're evaluating a bond, don't just look at the yield. Ask yourself, when do I actually get my money back? Because understanding its duration gives you a much deeper insight into the risk you're really taking on.